Yeah, now we are.
What's up, metalheads? Welcome to another special episode on here, the Full Metal Trivia channel, what we call Full Metal 5. This is what we do. We take a few member of our admins and a couple of special guests, and what we like to do is we like to come up with the top 5 list of different categories of movies. And today, in honor of Coco coming out this Thanksgiving holiday, we are going to be doing top 5 Pixar movies. Here with me, always fun to have him around, our number one question writer, number one in your hearts as well. That is Jeremy the Adam Adams. How you feeling tonight, Jeremy?
Feeling great. So happy to be here. I just hope that I don't end up getting killed because my opinions on Pixar movies are maybe sometimes outside the norm a little bit. But so we'll see how it goes, but I'm really excited.
Don't worry, guys. Jeremy's going to be under control because he actually needs to go see Coco in about an hour. So he's going to keep his comments very short.
Yes, that too.
All right, and always working the camera as always. You know him now as Harley Quinn because he makes horrible bets. But that is Mark Boric. Mark, how you feeling tonight?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're talking Pixar, and despite me being evil, I love Pixar.
Don't need to be a nice person to like Pixar. It makes you feel better about yourself. And usually we'll have one more admin member. Unfortunately, our other admins were busy tonight, so we have 2 special guests this evening. First, we have the man who's just a glutton for punishment in every league he's in. Nico, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Mark makes bad bets. I make terrible call-outs.
All right, and our other guest, thank you so much for joining us at the last minute. That is Brooklyn. Brooklyn, how you feeling?
We're doing good, man. We get to talk Pixar movies. I've been waiting for this for a while, so I'm loving to debate the company known as Pixar.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed. It is fun. So, like we said, we're making the top 5 list. So, this is the first round, what we call the nomination rounds. We are going to go around the proverbial circle here. We are going to nominate movies that we think should be considered the top 7. Of course, to get on the top 7 list, it must be ratified by 3 members. And once we get that 7, we will move on to the next round. So let's see. You know what? Since he is in such a rush, and just because I know he wants to at least talk about something, Jeremy, what is the first movie nominated that should be at least in the top 7 considerations for Pixar?
All right. Well, the one that I want to nominate just so happens to be my favorite Pixar movie. And I also want to nominate it on behalf of Alex, Omega, who couldn't be here tonight. That would be The Incredibles, which I think is the best Pixar movie. I think it's one of the best superhero movies ever made. I think it's flawless, great storytelling with some of the best action scenes, some of the best characters. I know it may not be the most heartfelt or emotional Pixar movie, but just in terms of sheer storytelling, I think it's just at the top. And I'm so excited we're finally going to get that sequel we've been waiting for forever. So definitely The Incredibles.
Absolutely, sequel. So I'm going to start from the left on my screen. So, Nico, does The Incredibles make it to the 7 consideration list?
Absolutely. Not only did it do what Fox wasn't able to do with the Fantastic Four, but on the DVD release, they also have that short with Jack Jack, and that is one of my favorite Pixar shorts of all time.
Oh, it's so good.
So just everything about The Incredibles is worthy of being on this list.
All right, and I'll skip me for now. Let's go over, I don't think I even need to ask from the conversations we had earlier, but Brooklyn, does The Incredibles make the 7 consideration list?
Yes. 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 I was going to say this is the Fantastic Four movie we never got. Also, definitely the best Pixar movie that doesn't really feel like a Pixar movie. This could have been like a live adaptation, and it would have done, I believe, just as well.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, Incredibles does make the top 7 list. Mark, not that our votes count, but would you have voted for Incredibles?
Yes, only I just have to disagree with Jeremy. He said that it's not as heartfelt as some of the other ones. I truly believe that it is one of their most heartfelt Pixar movies.
Fair enough. We'll save that conversation for another time because Jeremy will go on.
No, I won't. I'll give it to you. I'll give you that.
All right. And, okay, since I probably would have done it anyway, so I'll go ahead and go next. So this movie, I don't know if it's anyone else's top 5, but in my opinion, this movie definitely deserves consideration. That is A Bug's Life. I don't know why enough people, when they talk about Pixar, don't talk about this movie. Maybe because that Ants movie came out around the same time and people confuse it, but A Bug's Life is one of those great, just one of those stories of someone who just doesn't quite fit in with everybody, finding a way to be the hero of the day in his own special way. All those characters are fantastic. The circus bugs are one of the funniest groups of people, groups of characters that you can ever watch. I love those roly-polies to death. Those roly-poly brothers are one of the best parts of that movie. To me, it's one of John Ratzenberger's best cameo roles as P.T. Flea.
P.T. Flea.
He's freaking hilarious. And like I said, it doesn't get talked about enough. And it gave us one of the greatest Pixar shorts, which is Gary's Game. One of the greatest Pixar shorts ever. And that's why Bug's Life definitely needs to be in consideration. Mark, since your vote didn't count last time, help me out here. Does A Bug's Life make the consideration list?
Oh, if anyone in the chat has seen me, I'm always begging for Bug's Life to be on there. Bug's Life is one of my favorites. Like, RJ, you've said it perfectly. With the exception of one of my favorite characters is Heimlich, the caterpillar. Other than that, I can't top what you said.
All right, so I'm going to leave this last vote to Mr. Adams. Does A Bug's Life make the consideration list?
All right, well, here's where I start getting hated. I really love A Bug's Life. I love that it's based on The Seven Samurai, the great Japanese film, which is something not everyone knows, but that's where they got their plot from. I absolutely love the theme park attraction based on it at the Disney parks, but it just doesn't quite make it for me. There are other Pixar movies that I think go higher, but so it's a no for me. But I do love the movie.
All right, Nico, I see you want to say something, so that's a no from Jeremy. Nico, what do you think?
There are two ways to look at a Pixar film. One is from the perspective of a kid, and one is from the perspective of the parent that took the kid to the theater. Now, as the kid, I loved Heimlich the caterpillar. He was one of my favorite characters of all time. Now that I'm an adult, I understand the story a little bit more, and from an adult perspective, I can see what the story that they're trying to tell is. Hey, listen, fascism is a terrible thing. Like the government they have set up with these bugs. With the grasshoppers taking from these poor ants in exchange for protection, like that is a serious message that they're trying to show, that don't give up your individual rights. Be the change you want to be. And that's exactly what Flick does, is he is the change that he wants to see in his community. So this movie is definitely worthy of being on this list.
All right, so with that, A Bug's Life does make the consideration list. Brooklyn, real quick, would you have put it on the list, or would you agree with Jeremy that it just doesn't quite make the cut?
I would agree with Jeremy that it should not be on this list, for the reason that I find the hero kind of forgettable. My favorite part of it is that it pre Kevin Spacey being a pedophile. One of his best.
All right, well, unfortunately, your vote didn't count anyways, so Bug's Life's on the list, so you could all suck it. No, I'm just kidding. I just love this movie so much. All right, Mark, let's give you, what movie would you like to nominate to also be on the consideration list?
Okay, I without a doubt, I have to go for my personal favorite and what's meant so much to me, especially at that time frame when it came out, the first Toy Story movie. Without a doubt. Like, I was 8, I believe I was 7 or 8 at the time. And before it came out, after it came out, I was obsessed with it. I had all the toys. They had trading cards. I collected the trading cards. The story of Toy Story, just everything. I just loved it so much. Like, it's definitely my number one.
All right, let's go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, does Toy Story make the list?
As much as I hate to do this, I have to disagree with my fellow Canadian. I believe the two other movies in the franchise are better. There's better storylines in 2 and 3 for me. Definitely better villains for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pass.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go next on this. And unfortunately, I have to agree with Brooklyn. As much as Toy Story was the phenomenon that started the Pixar dynasty that is now, I enjoy the other two so much better. And if we're thinking about a top 5 that needs to not be dominated by a franchise, I would rather see one of the other Toy Stories on this list. So let's go to Jeremy. Jeremy, does Toy Story the original make the consideration list?
I feel so much better. I thought I was going to be the villain and the bad guy, and you guys have softened it for me. It's a no for me on Toy Story. I love the movie. Obviously, it's historically very important. I mean, it was the first computer animated film, but I just think Pixar has done it better since then. So it doesn't quite make it for me. Although obviously I love it, and I'm so sorry, Mark.
Oh, unfortunately, then with that, Toy Story does not make the top 7. Nico, what would you have said though if it would have came down to you?
I was originally going to say put it on the list, but after hearing what you guys have said, I'm kind of leaning towards what you guys have said. Maybe one of the other two deserves to be on it more. And I did have Toy Story 3 on my list also, but that's a different topic for later on.
All right, so let's move on. Let me go to our last minute special guest, Brooklyn. What movie would you like to nominate to be on our list?
All right, my number 1 is already out there. I'm going to pick Monsters Inc. In my opinion, the movie, the Pixar movie with the best score, best music in that. It has a very like 20s, 30s kind of like industrial kind of feel to it. Yeah. The characters are awesome. An excellent villain in Steve Buscemi and James Coburn. Excellent supporting cast. Roz is great. Boo is awesome. The Abominable Snowman. John Ratzenberger has an excellent cameo in this. Yeah, Monsters Inc. for me.
All right, Nico, since your vote didn't count last time, what do you think? Does Monsters Inc. make the top 7?
Much like my opinion with A Bug's Life, I say Monsters Inc. belongs on the list because of the message that it sends. Laughter is more powerful than screams. Happiness over sadness. Positivity over negativity. That is something very powerful that everyone can learn from. And for that reason, I feel like that's why it deserves to be on the list. Because, again, the message.
Man, who knew Nico was so philosophical? All right, let's go to Mark. Mark, unfortunately, did not get his movie on the list, but do you think this movie deserves to be on the list? Don't be petty.
No, I'm not. It's a little higher up on my list, but yeah, I'd vote for yes. The story, the characters, the soundtrack, boom. You can't go wrong with it.
All right, with that, Monsters Inc. does make it on the board. Jeremy, what would you have said?
I love Monsters Inc., but wouldn't quite have made it for me. It's actually number 9 on my top 10. But great movie. Obviously, I'm not angry that it's on there because I love the movie. Pixar has a lot of great movies, guys.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I would have gone with it. Monsters Inc. is one of my favorites. If I'm not mistaken, because I always consider the shorts with the movie, and if I'm not mistaken, Monsters Inc. got For the Birds, and For the Birds is one of the most hilarious of the Pixar shorts, in my opinion.
For the Birds is an excellent short. It's one of the first ones that I remember. I don't remember the Toy Story shorts, but that's the first one as a kid I remember seeing, and just it's an iconic short for me.
All right, well that brings us now to Nico. Nico, it is your turn. What movie do you think needs to be on our consideration list?
The film I think deserves to be on this list is WALL-E. Now, if you look at the way the world is set right now, we have a president who's rolling back all the regulations on the environment, and scientists have estimated that parts of the country will be underwater by 2050. This movie shows why it is important to preserve the environment and what our future will look like if we do not do that. So again, the message is important, but also the romance between Wally and Eve is just really nice to see. John C. Reilly is a great voice actor in this movie, playing the captain.
Jeff Garland, I think.
Jeff Garland,
I
yeah.
think it's Jeff Garland, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Jeff Garland.
Yeah. But he
Oh,
did great.
But you understand what I mean. Message is important, but also great chemistry with the characters. Have at it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go first on this one and say, unfortunately, I cannot agree. I do agree that WALL-E does, like most of these movies, does have a very important message. However, I can't watch WALL-E again. It is not as rewatchable as the other Pixar films to me, and for that reason alone, I don't think it deserves consideration to be in the top 5. Jeremy, your vote also didn't count last time. What are your opinions? Does WALL-E make the list or just not so?
WALL-E is amazing filmmaking. The first 30 minutes is basically a silent film, which was such a remarkable directorial feat that they pulled off. It's amazing. It's got great messages. Like Nico said, it's a yes for me. I love WALL-E. And it's my girlfriend's favorite Pixar movie, so this is for you.
Helpful. All right, so that is 2 yeses, 1 no so far. Brooklyn, does WALL-E make the list?
Very, very similar opinion to Jeremy. I do agree that this should be on the list. The emotion that they're able to build in that first 20 minutes, half an hour, without a line of dialogue, is just phenomenal. It's an impressive feat. And yeah, like Jeff Garland as the captain. Fred Willard has a nice little comedic relief as the CEO of By and Large. So yes, WALL-E needs to be on at least the top 7.
All right, so with that, WALL-E does make the cut. Mark, what have your thoughts been on it? Would it have been a yes or a no for you if it would have came down to it?
It would have been a yes.
So WALL-E would have been on the list regardless. All right, so we have done one full circle, and thankfully, we did actually get half a list. We're making decent time. So as of right now, with going through everybody once, we have The Incredibles, A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., and WALL-E. So Jeremy, it is your turn again. What is the second movie you would like to nominate?
All right, to get a little autobiographical here, the thing with Pixar is I think a lot of people, it's a lot of nostalgia because, these are movies people saw when they were kids. But for me, I was 16 when Toy Story came out. So I don't have that child nostalgia factor. For me, I pretty much came to all these movies as an adult. And for me, as an adult, the most powerful Pixar movie, the one that resonates with me the most, it's hard for me to even talk about it, is Up. This is a movie that I love. Obviously, the beginning of the movie, the montage at the beginning, is one of the most amazing, emotionally devastating sequences you'll ever see. But I actually love the whole movie. I think that Doug is one of my favorite characters in a Pixar movie. The dog, Kevin's one of my favorite characters, and I think it's one of their better villains with Charles Muntz. It's a wonderful movie. It's powerful, and for me as an adult, that is one that really speaks to me.
Yeah, if you like crying, I've heard Coco is 10 times worse than
I'm getting ready to do some more crying tonight.
Yeah, all right. So, Mark, since your vote did not count last time, what do you think? Does Up make the cut?
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You get so emotionally hooked within the first 10 minutes, and then Carl just basically kind of starting his life over with having a child that he wasn't able to have and didn't know he could take care of or care about. And the relationship between Carl and dang it, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Kid's name.
Kevin.
No,
something with an R.
Man, love this movie. And Russell.
Russell.
Sorry, Russell. We forgot Russell. All right, man.
Yeah. That relationship there. And then they find Doug turning on the pack of dogs there. Yeah. And every time the squirrel. I love this movie so much. So much. I can turn it on and just focus on it.
Squirrel was definitely the joke of the day every day at school. Nico, what do you think? Does that make the list?
Don't hate me for this, but I'm going to give it a no vote.
No, not a problem.
See, I don't remember any of the characters' names from that movie. And hell, you didn't even remember Russell for a second.
Hey, I have bad memories sometimes.
But like the only two things I remember from that movie are the squirrel line and Ellie dying at the beginning. And I feel like because she died at the beginning, the movie gets a lot more hype than it might deserve. So I feel like it's overrated based on one emotional moment at its beginning.
All right. Damn, I was trying to avoid this, but unfortunately, I am also going to have to give it a no. And it's nothing against Up. It's a beautiful movie. It's so well done. It's a great story. I am simply giving it a no because there are 3 more movies I want on this list, and WALL-E took one of the spots. So with WALL-E in there, for other movies that I want to make room for, I'm going to have to give Up a no. So Brooklyn, for the first time tonight, it does come down to the final vote, and it is you. Does Up make the list?
Well, first, let me have a drink here, and we'll figure out a little more.
Suspense.
Hey, label out. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
I'm so torn. This is like number 7, 8. I've been flipping around a couple other movies.
Yeah.
I have to agree though with RJ that there are a couple of more movies that I want to see on the list. They are right in that the first 10 minutes of this movie is some of the saddest storyline, like the saddest quick storyline they've ever seen. But unfortunately, I have to be a Debbie Downer and give this a big old no.
So with that, unfortunately, Up does not make the 7. We are still at 4. It comes back to me. I don't know if I want to go with the obvious one or the one I really want to just try to get on there. I feel like the other 2 are going to get voted for, so I'm going with one that I don't know why. But this movie is entertaining every time I see it. Probably, after A Bug's Life, the most rewatchable movie for me, and that's Ratatouille.
Oh, good.
I don't know what it is about Ratatouille that gets me every time. Maybe it's food. I love movies about cooking. I don't know what it is. But the same thing, like the whole thing of like not judging a book by its cover, to me, is just one of the best lessons you can ever put out there for people to remember, especially kind of going a little bit on how Nico is, like, especially in how it is today. The message of not judging a book by its cover is so important, and this movie does it in a fun way, and you get to watch awesome food be made at the same time. Linguini's hilarious. Who plays him? Oh my God, Jeremy, help me out.
Lou Romano, he is an animator, I believe.
Well, he did a fantastic job with Linguini. Pat Oswalt did Remy to a T. And I definitely believe that this movie deserves at least a consideration being in the top 5. So since all our votes counted, Mark, does Ratatouille make the list?
I'm sorry. No, it's once again, I'd probably rank that as my number 11. But for me, it doesn't. It's taken me so long to watch it. Like, I just watched it like a couple months ago, and it just doesn't resonate. I get it, but it's just not one that I recommend. That it's not the Pixar movie that I go out and tell everyone, go watch this. You have to watch this. It's a really good movie. It's just not the best Pixar movie for me.
Absolutely fair. All right, 1 and 1. Nico, what do you think? Ratatouille, the list or no?
I want to throw you a bone, but unfortunately, I don't revisit this movie enough to say it deserves to be on the list. It was a good movie when I saw it as a kid in the theater, but for some reason, I've just never gone back to it, and for that reason, I can't put it on the list.
Hey, absolutely fair. Like I said, so I don't want to give him the deciding vote accidentally, but I got to go with it just in case. Brooklyn, yes or no?
As the resident as a resident cook on the group, Nico can attest to this. I did enjoy the movie. We watched it in school, and they do get some of the history of the kitchen correct. Like they mentioned, I think saucier and rôtissier. Those are like actual like classical positions in the kitchen. And the what's his name? The really short guy. The I guess like the villain or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we watched this in school, one of the guys in our class popped up like, "Oh, is that this instructor?" So it's kind of funny. But I find the supporting cast a little lackluster. Nothing really too memorable. Remy's brother is kind of funny, but like more disgusting than funny. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give this a no.
That's fine. And with that, Ratatouille is off the consideration. And that was the only wild card I was throwing in there anyway. So, all right. So actually,
I didn't get my opinion.
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, Jeremy. What would you have said had it came down?
I would
to
have absolutely said yes. Ratatouille is a masterpiece.
Ah,
One of the greatest,
Jeremy.
one of the greatest movies about being a creative person and being an artist and what that means.
I will gladly debate
You guys are
against you
breaking
till
my
the
heart. You're killing me right now. You're
It's
breaking
all
my
right,
heart
Jeremy.
right now.
I'll suffer along with you at least on that one. All right, so too bad I'm giving him too many turns in a row, but it is Brooklyn's turn again. So Brooklyn, now what other film would you like to nominate to be on this list?
The best Toy Story in the franchise, going with Toy Story 2.
Ooh.
This movie, what Toy Story is to Mark, this is Toy Story 2 to me. I was around 6 at the time when this movie came out, and then like it has such a rewatchable value. The villains in this again are great. We get to delve deep into Woody's like or kind of origins, I guess. You get Bullseye, you get Joan Cusack's character. Her name is not coming across. This also spun off the Buzz Lightyear series on TV.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of got to see that. So without Toy Story 2, we don't get that awesome series, which I think everybody should watch. And yeah, the supporting cast is such an ensemble, and it carries over to Toy Story 3. So yeah, Toy Story 2.
All right. So Toy Story 2 is on the board. So Jeremy, since your vote did not count last time, Toy Story 2, is it the Toy Story movie that will finally make our list?
I'm so sorry. I love Toy Story 2. It's great. It was number 10 on my list. It just doesn't quite make it. But I love the movie. Look, Pixar, a lot of great movies. What can I say?
All right, so that's 1-1. I'm going to go next with a big fat yes. I agree with Brooklyn. For some reason, Toy Story 2, to me, I don't know what it is about it, but I have the most fun with it. Maybe it's because I think it might be the fact of the little adventure that the toys go on themselves, getting to Al's Toy Barn to find Woody. And the fake Buzz, was a fantastic ad that they did to that. And as much as Toy Story 3, like, it got better and better, don't get me wrong, but Toy Story 2 is the one that resonates me with the most. Like, I don't want the goodbye story of Toy Story, even though there is a Toy Story 4. I don't want the one that feels like a goodbye to be in the top. I want the one that I had the most fun with, and that's going to be Toy Story 2 when Woody and Buzz are friends and not fighting. Well, they fight a little bit, but you know what I mean. Everybody's friends. So that's 2-1. Let's go with who's gonna be it.
Nico.
Since your turn is next, Mark.
Oh.
Does Toy Story 2 make the list?
And also, to correct what I was saying before, the TV show was actually called Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Yep.
We watched that all the time when I was a kid. But unfortunately, Toy Story 2 is number 3 out of the 3 Toy Story movies for me. And I enjoyed it. It's a really good movie. I just don't like it as much as Toy Story 1 or Toy Story 3.
That's absolutely fine. So, Nico.
Deciding vote.
You are the deciding
Nico.
vote. Is Toy Story 2 the Toy Story that makes the list? Because let's be honest, one's already gone. So if this one leaves, we only have one left.
Can we hold off on my vote and go to Mark's pick for the next edition of the list?
No,
I'm going to have to ask you to make a pick. But while you're thinking, I have a bit of trivia. Who voiced Buzz Lightyear in the cartoon?
Oh,
shit! I know this.
I want to throw a dummy guess in there just for shits and giggles. Was it Patrick Warburton?
It was in fact Patrick Warburton.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I knew Adam Carolla did a voice on the show. I didn't know who did Buzz though.
Yeah.
As much as I love Toy Story 2, I feel like Toy Story 3 and Inside Out deserve to be on the list more. So I'm going to have to say no.
That's absolutely fine. With that, Toy Story 2 is off the list. So we've had a really bad run here in the second round. So let's see if Nico can turn it around. Nico, what is your nomination for the list? We are still at 4. Give us a 5th one.
Oh, wait, we're still at 4.
Yeah. We are still at 4.
Yeah,
everyone's movie this round has gotten turned down.
Oh, I thought we had a 5th. In that case, I'm changing my vote.
What? Don't change it. There's other good ones.
I'm changing.
Your vote, please.
Listen, I thought 5 spots have been taken up, not 4. So in that case, I'm changing my vote. Toy Story 2, you can go on the list.
This is the first. Admin, do we want to allow the change of vote?
I don't.
Mark?
I don't. Oh crap.
There's other good movies, guys.
I know. Do we?
There's other good movies, but Toy Story 2 is the best.
No, there's other better ones.
Mark, it's honestly down to you because, of course, I want to change his vote because I voted for Toy Story, so I'm going to leave it to you. Do we accept his change of vote?
No, sorry.
No, all right. Unfortunately, the vote stands. Toy Story 2 is out. So, Nico, what's the movie you'd like to nominate?
Let's go with Inside Out.
All right.
Now, when I saw this movie, I always try to look on the bright side. I'm a positive person. And this movie made me realize there are appropriate times to feel sad, that there are appropriate times to let my anger out, that there are appropriate times to feel a little bit of disgust or fear, to be human. And if you look at Star Wars, that's one of the biggest flaws of the Jedi is they refuse to give into their emotions and be people. And this movie, Inside Out, it shows you the importance of being a human being with feelings. Also, Lewis Black as anger is fucking hilarious. The character of Riley and the way she goes through her emotional swerves, and then all of a sudden she goes to deadpan when all the emotions are struggling in her brain to get the system to work. And of course, someone's going to mention it, Bing Bong. It hits
Oh, God.
when Pearl Bing Bong goes.
You had to go there.
Have at it.
All right. I'm actually going to go, let's see, who hasn't gotten a first opinion in a long time? Mark, does Inside Out make the list?
It's one of those. It's definitely one that you have to go. Is it even questionable? In all honesty, how does this not make the top 7 Pixar? I'm sorry, bud. I can't think of anything that's bad about it.
No, absolutely fair.
And
I feel like this might be a clean sweep, but just because I really want to hear him because he sounded really excited when it was mentioned. Jeremy, does Inside
Out is pure perfection. It's just great. So yes.
All right, Brooklyn, what would you have said?
Inside Out was the only movie that I openly bawled in front of my wife while watching this movie. It's such a sad movie, but it's so goddamn good.
Yeah. So I think one of the first, if only the second clean sweep we have. Actually, yeah, I think the first one was the only one that was a clean sweep. So another clean sweep on the list, and we finally have a number 5, and that is Inside Out. All right, so we still have 2 spots left. Oh my God, Jeremy, end our struggle. Give me another movie. Give me one.
I knew if we accepted Toy Story 2, this one wouldn't make the list. So thank God it's frickin' Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is great. It's a classic. It's one of the best father-son stories you'll ever see. It's hysterical. It gave us Dory. There's nothing wrong with Finding Nemo. It's got to be on the list.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and end this quickly. Yes. Finding Nemo, absolutely. It gave us Dory. It gave us Just Keep Swimming. It gave us Fish Are Friends, Not Food. It gave us Escape. It gave us 42 Feet Wallaby Way Sydney. It gave us so many memorable quotes. And like he said, it's one of the greatest father-son stories of all time. And it's just, yes, it definitely belongs on the top. I don't agree with you that if Toy Story made it, Finding Nemo wouldn't have. But yes, it does deserve the consideration. So, Nico, does Finding Nemo make the list?
Well, since you said no to Toy Story 2, yeah, put it on the list.
All right. Mark, Brooklyn, y'all's thoughts? Would Finding Nemo have made the list anyways?
Finding Nemo for me would have made the list. Such an excellent supporting cast. Flo and Jacques and Gil. Such great great performances, and Nigel the Pelican. such an awesome dry witty comic relief.
Mark?
When it comes to the two Finding movies, Finding Dory was my favorite, and
really,
yeah. And I was so annoyed by Dory in the first one, and I liked the second one better.
Interesting.
I know. I enjoyed Finding Dory better.
All right. Well, unfortunately, Mark, Finding Nemo does make the list. That brings us to 6. And I'm going to end this now because let's be honest, one of these movies has to be on there. We already eliminated the other 2, and we talked about it enough. So I'm putting Toy Story 3 out there, and I'm just going to ask, Brooklyn, yes or no, Toy Story 3?
One quick we already have 6 movies, right?
Yep.
Yes, we have 6.
This would be number 7.
This would be number 7.
I want to say no out of spite because Toy Story 2 is the better movie, but I can't say no. Toy Story 3, definitely I'd say probably the best movie visually. Very vivid colors. I love the color palette that they use in this. Watso the Bear, an awesome villain. Michael Keaton has a really funny role in Ken. It has some low spots, but if for the sake of Pixar, Toy Story definitely needs to be on this list somehow. So I will say yes, unfortunately.
All right, and Mark, yes or no, Toy Story 3?
Really? Toy Story 2 almost made the list, and if it almost makes the list, and Toy Story 3 doesn't make the list, I quit.
Exactly.
All right, that ends it. Jeremy, just a real quick yes or no so we can get through this quick. Yes
it's
or
the
no?
best Toy Story movie, of course.
Debatable. Nico, yes or no?
Put it on the list.
All right. We finally did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our 7. So we have, in no particular order, well, actually just in the order they got on the list, Incredibles, A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., WALL-E, Inside Out, Finding Nemo, and Toy Story 3. Here comes the hard part, gentlemen. The next round, it is to eliminate 2. So in this round, you're not nominating who stays on. You're nominating who gets knocked off. Since we ended with me, we'll go to Mark. Mark, out of those 7 movies, who does not make the top 5?
As much as this really, really pains me, and I truly love this movie, I'm going to have to nominate Bug's Life.
I hate you.
I'm sorry.
You turncoat, Mark.
No, this movie. Hey, I'm looking at these movies, and unfortunately, as much as it pains me, A Bug's Life. I'm sorry.
All right. So A Bug's Life is on the table. Jeremy, does A Bug's Life get knocked off?
It gets knocked off.
I hate you, Jeremy.
I know. Sorry, buddy.
All right, Nico, does A Bug's Life get knocked off?
No, I'm actually going to nominate Finding Nemo.
Well, we're just voting on Bug's Life right now. Yeah, we're just voting on Bug's Life. So yay or nay on Bug's Life top 5.
I say keep it on the list.
All right, keep it on the list. You know what? It won't be as much suspense, but I'm going to, since everyone knows my answer, I'm going to go with Brooklyn. Brooklyn, you're the deciding vote. Because we all know what my answer is going to be anyway. So, does A Bug's Life stay on the list?
I didn't want Bug's Life on the top 7 to begin with, so Bug's Life should definitely not be in the top 5.
Boo this man! Boo!
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.
You're
So
a good man.
unfortunately for my childhood, but I figured that would happen. A Bug's Life is off the list.
I hear you.
And Brooklyn, that leaves it to you. What movie does, out of the 6 remaining movies, what movie does not belong in the top 5?
What are the other 6? I accidentally erased my entire
No problem.
list.
It is The Incredibles, Monsters, Inc., WALL-E, Inside Out, Finding Nemo, and Toy Story 3.
Wow, that's such a tough one.
I know.
Fuck.
It doesn't get easier, guys.
It really doesn't.
Man. I gotta say, see, this is unfortunate because 6 out of the 7 movies that I had in my top 7 got on the list. What was the one that I had at number 6? I gotta say Toy Story 3.
Oh,
Crap.
that is, oh man,
Wow.
we might turn some heads for that if we knock out a Toy Story.
I gotta say Toy Story.
You know what? I'm gonna go first on this one and say, like, no, Toy Story needs
It
to be
stays.
on there. Toy Story needs representation on this list. We will go on a witch hunt.
I think we have Nico's vote. We have Nico's vote.
That's Nico's vote. So you know what? We'll go ahead and take that. So Jeremy, I'll let you be the decider. Does
Oh God, it stays. Are you kidding me?
All right.
That movie's freaking great. All right.
Then unfortunately, Toy Story. Nope, Toy Story stays. So Toy Story will definitely be in our top 5. Nico, your turn to nominate a movie that will not make this top 5 list.
Finding Nemo.
Oh my God. Any particular reason? While we all think about this? Nope.
He said he didn't like Dory. No, it was Mark that said he didn't like Dory.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mark liked Dory more. Nico, any particular reason why Finding Nemo is your on the cutting board?
Well, I'm looking at what's left on the list, and like the message and emotional connectivity, it's just not strong with that one as it is with the other.
What?
Yeah,
You
calm down, Jeremy.
don't have a father
Jeremy.
apparently.
Jeremy, let it
Yeah,
be.
it stays. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to me.
No, let's go to Mark first. Mark,
Okay, sorry.
does Finding Nemo stay on the list?
I guess what Jeremy was saying, as someone who doesn't have a relationship with their parents, and I find Finding Dory better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Finding Nemo.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm voting for it to get taken off.
Okay, so we already know Jeremy's answer. So let's go to
Yeah, you
Brooklyn. Brooklyn, does Finding Nemo stay on the list?
Hell to the motherfucking yes. Finding Nemo does stay on
Thank
the top.
God. Some rational
And
people around
unfortunately,
here.
I have to agree. I'm sorry. Finding Nemo stays. So Finding Nemo and Toy Story are our 2 definite ones. And with what's left, this is only getting harder, gentlemen. Okay, so we've gone through everybody. So Jeremy, what movie out of what's left doesn't make the top 5?
I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me, but it 100% Monsters, Inc.
Ah! My heart.
Sorry, guys.
Any particular reason?
Not that I don't love it. I love the movie. It's just not top 5, dudes.
I'm going to go first and say I have to completely disagree. Monsters, Inc.
All right.
definitely deserves to be in the top 5. I do not care. Monsters, Inc. is one of the best buddy films you will ever watch. I would not have nothing if I didn't have this movie. All right, let's go to...
Brooklyn.
Yeah, let's go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, does Monsters, Inc. stay on the list?
Again, hell to the motherfucking yes. And when you think Disney and Pixar, and I think Jeremy should agree with me on this. The music is such a key component for that style of movie, and Monsters Inc. hits it out of the park with easily the best score and soundtrack of the Pixar franchise. So
All
yes.
right. Let's go to Nico. Nico, does Monsters, Inc. stay or does Monsters, Inc. go?
I'm gonna have to say it goes.
Oh crap!
Oh.
Oh boy!
You know what? I don't want to be the one because it's my turn next anyway, so I want to leave it to Mark. Does it stay? Does it go?
It goes.
Oh, it goes!
Crap.
And there you have it.
I
All
don't
right.
have emotional attachment as I do with a lot of these other ones.
Dear diary, today my dreams were shattered. Two of my top 3 movies.
All right. So, gentlemen.
Your Monsters Inc. My up. We're all hurting.
All right. This part we're going to try to go through quick for Jeremy's sake. So, once again, in no particular order, the top 5, in no order yet, are going to be Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Wall-E, Inside Out, and Toy Story 3. Here's the numbering round, gentlemen. You have your whiteboards ready?
Yep.
So, on your whiteboards, we'll be going number by number. You're going to write down the movie you think deserves to be in the number 5 spot. Jeremy looks so ready.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready.
You got a little bit of time, think about it, but write down the movie you think belongs in the top 5. If it's still like the same. If it gets 3 votes or more, that's the spot it's going to be in. If there's any kind of tie or any out of someone who didn't vote for a particular one, but they have 2 and 2 or missing one, you will be asked to revote.
Okay.
So, it looks like Mark's the only one still writing.
I just had to get rid of my top 5 list and.
All right, since it was going to be my turn next, I'll go first. And I say Wall-E. So let's go to Mark.
Nemo. Finding Nemo.
All right. Let's go to Brooklyn.
At Toy Story 3.
Oh,
Oh, boy. All right, let's go to Nico.
Finding Nemo.
Oh, if Jeremy does not have a different answer. Jeremy, what'd you say?
I said Wall-E.
Oh, Brooklyn, once again, it comes down to you. It is 2 and 2. What is 5? Is it going to be Wall-E or is it going to be Finding Nemo?
It's such a heartfelt, heartwarming movie, but Wall-E I think has to be number 5.
All right, there it is.
Yeah.
Wall-E is number 5. All right, gentlemen, next up, number 4. What is your number 4 movie? Man, I didn't even think about this.
Have to look at my list again.
We got Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Toy Story 3, and Inside Out. Looks like we're just waiting on Nico to write his answer.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, you are? Oh,
Yeah, he knows.
all right.
We know
so
what he's
we
gonna
started
do.
with me. Okay, Mark, what is number 4?
my 4 and 5, I just had to switch them around, so Finding Nemo.
All right, Brooklyn.
Again, Toy Story 3.
Oh,
Yeah, he is not happy. All right, Nico.
Finding Nemo.
Jeremy.
Finding Nemo.
And I also had Finding Nemo. That makes Finding Nemo number 4.
Just glad it made the list, guys.
All right, gentlemen. We're going to go one more, and then we're going to change it up. So what is your number 3 film? Your number 3.
what's on the list again? Sorry.
We have left Toy Story 3, Monsters, Inc., and The Incredibles.
I mean, Inside Out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Inside Out.
Yeah, not
Let's
Monster
say
Inc.
Sorry.
Hey.
Sorry. I erased my things
Inside
wrong.
Out.
Sorry. I had it faded near the top. Sorry. Inside Out.
God.
Nice try.
No.
We knew you did that on
No,
purpose.
I really
Andy.
did it. Honestly, it's erased
I'm
weird on my
kidding.
board.
I'm kidding. I'm
All right.
kidding.
Are we all done? Looks like Mark's the only one still writing. All right. I started. Who did I start with last time? You.
Mark.
So Brooklyn, you are first.
Again, Toy Story 3.
Nico.
He's gonna die on that hill.
Screw you, Brooklyn. The Incredibles.
Oh! Alex is screaming in his seat right now. Jeremy.
Inside Out.
Oh, Hank, I'm gonna be that guy. Toy Story 3.
Uh-oh.
No.
Mark.
Like, This is incredibly hard. All three movies are great.
Oh!
Somebody has to revote,
Nico.
right?
Nico
Oh,
is the only one. Nico, you have to pick either Toy Story 3 or Inside Out is number 3.
Like,
Make the right choice. Make the right choice.
Inside Out.
Yeah.
There it is. Inside Out. All right, gentlemen, for this last one, we are not voting on number 2. It is Toy Story 3 and The Incredibles. Who is number 1?
Oh, wait. He said Inside Out was third. I love you, Nico. Sorry. I got confused. I love you, Nico.
In all honesty, these top three is like picking your three favorite triplets.
No, because a Bug's Life isn't in there.
That's what I just said.
Pretty easy for me.
I think we can all agree they're 3 great movies.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 4-1 just because of Nico's last vote. But Nico does get to go first this time. So, Nico, what did you vote for number 2? What did you vote for number 1?
Number 1.
Toy Story 3.
Jeremy?
You and me, Alex. Incredibles.
I also voted Incredibles. Brooklyn and Mark?
Toy Story 3.
Oh!
Brooklyn? Incredibles.
And your winner, The Incredibles.
Oh!
Good job.
I can accept that.
All right.
Movies, great movie.
Well, there you have it, folks. So for us here at Full Metal Trivia, your top 5 Pixar movies are at number 5, Wall-E. At number 4, Finding Nemo. At number 3, Inside Out. At number 2, Toy Story 3. One of the movies made it on there. And your number 1 Pixar movie, at least according to us, is The Incredibles. There you have it, folks. That is your Full Metal 5 for this week. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know about you guys, but I have a strong feeling Coco is going to be in consideration for a rediscussion of this list.
Yeah.
So with that, we hope you all enjoyed our count, and let's all make sure we go see Coco because it looks really good. But I warn you, according to Collider and according to other people I've heard seen it, you will be crying. And if not, you will be holding it in very deeply. All right, so from all of us here, for Jeremy, for Mark, for our admin, and for Nico and Brooklyn who joined us tonight, thank you so much. I'm the Red Ranger, and we will see you guys next time.
And I just have to